What's up, guys? I'm Johnny Fandom, and I'm here to talk to you today about all things fandom. If you're new here, I talk about Harry Potter, Star Wars, One Piece, Disney, all sorts of fandom. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into today's video, where we are going to be discussing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. This is the textbook. We're going to have a little Fantastic Beasts lesson for you today. Just try something else new. So let's get into the video. Now, we've seen all sorts of Fantastic Beasts within the franchise itself, with the Harry Potter films, and then even the Fantastic Beasts films. We've seen a ton of different creatures. And in the movies, they don't really show, in the original Harry Potter films, they don't really show all these beasts that they do show in the books, such as the little twig monster, twig creature that goes around in Newt Scamander's pocket. That is a what's it called? So, in Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Them, we see a Bowtruckle chilling in Newt's pocket the entire time. A Bowtruckle we actually learn about in the original Harry Potter books. A Bowtruckle is a twig-like creature that actually follows, that hangs out around wand trees to protect them. So any wood from a wand tree is protected by Bowtruckles, and so it's okay. So the Bowtruckle is a tree-guarding creature found mainly in the west of England, southern Germany, and certain Scandinavian forests. It is immensely difficult to spot, being small, maximum 8 inches in height, and apparently made of bark and twigs with 2 small brown eyes. The Bowtruckle, which eats insects, is a peaceable and intensely shy creature, but if the tree in which it lives is threatened, it has been known to leap down upon the woodcutter or tree surgeon attempting to harm its home and gouge out their eyes with its long, sharp fingers. An offering of wood lice will place the Bowtruckle long enough to let a witch or wizard remove wand wood from its tree. We actually have these things in our world. They're not called Bowtruckles, but you have seen those twig insects that look like sticks, camouflage. Maybe they're Bowtruckles. Maybe I've seen a Fantastic Beast. Anyway, let's move on to another creature. Now, Kappa is actually a mythical creature in our world itself. It's highly known in the Japanese culture. The Kappa is a Japanese water demon that inhabits shallow ponds and rivers, often said to look like a monkey with fish scales instead of fur. It has a hollow top in its head, which carries water. So it has like a bowl in its head that carries water. The Kappa feeds on human blood, but may be persuaded not to harm a person if it is thrown a cucumber, with that person's name carved into it. In confrontation, a wizard should trick the Kappa into bowing. If it does, the water will howl out of its head, will run out, depriving it of all its strength. So all I have to do is trick the Kappa to bend over so the water pours out of his head, or throw a cucumber at it with your name carved into it. And Harry made a little note in here. It says, Snape hasn't read this either. Yeah. Now, in the books, we actually do see this quite a bit, and it's always discussed that a gnaw is very mistakenly for a hedgehog. And during the exams, they have to identify the gnarl among the hedgehogs. The gnarl, a Northern European and American, is usually mistaken for a hedgehog by muggles. The two species are indeed indistinguishable except for one important behavioral difference. The food is left out in the garden for a hedgehog, it will accept it and enjoy the gift. If food is offered to a gnarl, on the other hand, it will assume that the householder is attempting to lure it into a trap and will salvage the householder's garden plants or garden ornaments. Many a muggle child has been accused of vandalism when offended gnarl was the real culprit. So all you gotta do is offer it food, and if it accepts it, it's a hedgehog. If it doesn't, and it says, screw you, I'm gonna mess up your house, it's a gnarl. So take the chance. Feed the hedgehogs. Now notice that in the book are none of the Raxbirds or Rumplehorn Snorkax that Ruda talks about, because they're not actual creatures. And Newt Scamander is very known about all those creatures. I love this though. A salamander is something that we have in our world. Salamanders are wizarding creatures. Did you know that? The salamander is a small fire-dwelling lizard, so will Newt, that feeds on flame, brilliant white. It appears blue or scarlet depending upon the heat of the fire in which it makes its appearance. Salamanders can survive up to 6 hours outside the fire. If regularly fed pepper, they will live only as long as the fire from which they sprang burns. Salamander blood has powerful creative and restorative properties. And then there's one thing I wanted to look up. Now, one creature that they talk about in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies is the Niffler, because we have the Niffler. They actually do discuss the Niffler in the original Harry Potter series, but if you only seen the movies, you wouldn't know about this. The Niffler is an amazing creature, and I wish I had one. So in the books, Hagrid has a bunch of Nifflers, and he buries leprechaun gold around the grounds, and whoever Niffler finds the most gold wins their class for the day. Nifflers are adorable looking, and I wish we had them early on. The Niffler is a British beast, fluffy, black, and long-snouted. This burrowing creature has a prediction for anything glittery. Nifflers are often kept by goblins to burrow deep into earth for treasure. Though the Niffler is a gentle and even affectionate, it can be destructive to belongings and should never be kept in a house. Nifflers live in layers up to 20 feet below the surface and produce 6 to 8 young in a litter. What other creatures should we talk about? This book has everything. It talks about basilisks. Talk about billywigs. Talk about chimeras, centaurs, clabberts. So many creatures never even heard of. The clabbert is a tree-dwelling creature in appearance something like cross between a monkey and a frog. It originated in southern states of America, though it has since been exported worldwide. The smooth and hairless skin is mottled green, and hands and feet are webbed, and the arms and legs are long and supple, enabling the clabbert to swing between branches with agility and a orangutan. The head has a short horns and wide mouth, which appears to be grinning, full of razor-sharp teeth. The clabbert feeds mostly on small lizards and birds. The clabbert's most distinctive features is his large pustule in the middle of his forehead, which turns scarlet and flashes when it senses danger. So he's got a spidey sense. American wizards once kept crabbits in their gardens to give early warning of approaching muggles, but the International Confederation of Wizards has introduced fines which have largely ended this practice. The sight of a tree at night full of glowing crabbit parcels, while decorative, attracted too many muggles wishing to ask why their neighbors still had their Christmas lights up in June. Makes sense. Let's find another random beast. A fooper. The fooper is an African bird with extremely vivid plumage. Foopers may be orange, pink, lime green, or yellow. The fooper has long been provided a fancy quills and also lays brilliantly patterned eggs. Though the first enjoyable fooper song will eventually drive the listener to insanity, and the fooper is constantly sold with a silencing charm upon it, which will need monthly reinforcement. Fooper owners require licenses, and the creature must be handled responsibly. Why would you want that? If you don't do a silencing spell and charm in time, then you just go insane. No. Not my pet. The Jobberknoll. The Jobberknoll, Northern European and American, is a tiny blue speckled bird which eats small insects. It makes no sound until the moment of its death, at which point it lets out a long scream made up of every sound it has ever heard. Regurgitated backwards. Jobberknoll feathers are used in Trucium's and memory potion. That's a sound. Did not know about the Trucium, though. That's pretty interesting. You can learn a lot from this book. Thank you, Newt Scamander. Let's see, what else can we get? A moke. M-O-K-E. A moke. The moke is a silver-green lizard reaching up to 10 inches in length and is found throughout Britain and Ireland. It has already ability to shrink, and it has the ability to shrink at will and has consequently never been noticed by muggles. Moke skin is highly prized among wizards for use of money bags and purses, and scary material will contact at the approach of the stranger. Just as its owners did. Mokeskin money bags are therefore very difficult for thieves to locate. Wow. I just listened to this part in the books when Hagrid gives Harry the mokeskin bag. Huh. The winged horse has a classification of XX-XXXXX. That seems pretty dangerous. That's like the most X's I've seen in this book. Winged horses exist worldwide. There are many different breeds, including Abraxan, immensely powerful giant palominos, the Athenian chestnut, popular in Britain and Ireland, the Granian, gray and particularly fast, and the rare thestral, Also, thestrals are considered a classification of just a winged horse. Possess the power of visibility and considered unlucky by many wizards. As with the hippogriff, the owner of the winged horse is required to perform a disillusionment charm upon it in regular intervals. Okay. So, that is my lesson today for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. That is my defenses against the... No. That's my... The class Hagrid teaches. It's a Care of Magical Creatures lesson. Welcome to my Care of Magical Creatures lesson today. If you enjoyed this video, this is just a fun little thing I did. Hit that button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell so you listen to the video, because I post a video every Monday and Wednesday where I talk about all things fandom, such as Harry Potter, Disney, Star Wars, Pokemon, One Piece, whatever fandom that I got going on for the day. I may even talk about Doctor Who at some point. Who knows? It's fandom. It's a large fandom. There's so much out there. Anyway, see you next time. But before you go, make sure you check out that video up there and that video down there. Check out the merch store down below. And hit that join button. Help me out a lot. And also, if you hit that join button, I got some special stuff that only you can see. Videos that are just for you. As long as you hit that join button. If you don't hit it, you'll never see them. So go ahead, check it out.